Everything is negotiable. Whether or not the negotiation is easy is another thing. But don't worry, because Harvard experts reveal proven strategies to win every negotiation. In today's video, we'll share how to become a smarter negotiator, drawing on insights from William Ury and Roger Fisher's Getting to Yes. Stick with us until the end to learn how to apply a structured framework of effective negotiation. But first, don't forget to show Luxo-Life some love. Number 1. Focus on interests, not positions. Interests are the deeper needs, desires, or fears that drive a negotiation, while positions are the specific demands or solutions each side initially presents. A strong negotiation approach doesn't get hung up on these positions, but instead seeks to understand and address the underlying interests of both parties. When both sides focus on what they truly need rather than the fixed positions they may start with, it opens up more pathways to finding a solution that satisfies everyone involved. Understanding interests requires stepping back and identifying what motivates each party. Rather than sticking rigidly to one's initial stance, it's essential to explore the reasons behind each side's requests. For example, if you want something specific in a negotiation, think about why it matters to you. Doing the same for the other party helps in developing a shared understanding and identifying areas where your goals may overlap. This mindset shift from what I want to what we both need is the first step toward a productive and positive negotiation experience. By focusing on common ground, negotiators can move beyond a simple compromise. Instead of just splitting resources down the middle, finding shared interests can lead to solutions that provide more value to both parties. This approach helps in framing a negotiation as a joint problem-solving activity where both sides work together to find the best outcome. Seeking common interests can often reveal solutions that neither side initially considered, allowing everyone to walk away with something they genuinely value. Number 2. Use objective criteria or fair standards. Objective criteria play a crucial role in making negotiations fair and grounded. When both parties agree on clear, independent standards to evaluate solutions, it takes much of the guesswork and tension out of the negotiation process. Examples of objective criteria could be market value, legal precedent, or established industry standards, which give both sides a reliable basis for making decisions. Using these fair standards creates a sense of balance, helping each party feel that the negotiation is rooted in fairness rather than individual advantage. Establishing these fair standards early on is essential to setting the right tone for the negotiation. When both sides commit to evaluating solutions based on objective criteria, it reduces the chances of disagreements driven by personal preferences. This step can also make discussions more straightforward and less emotionally charged, as each side can refer to an agreed-upon source of truth. For instance, if the negotiation is about setting a price, market value can serve as the standard, guiding each party toward a fair outcome that respects established benchmarks. By focusing on objective criteria, negotiators can also avoid power plays, which are often the source of tension and conflict. Power struggles in negotiations usually happen when one side tries to use its position, authority, or influence to sway the outcome. But when you have fair standards in place, it's easier to keep the negotiation balanced and collaborative, as neither side can easily dominate the conversation. This helps build trust between both parties, making the entire process feel more cooperative and focused on finding the best solution for everyone. Number 3. Invent options for mutual gain. Options. When it comes to a successful negotiation, having a range of options on the table can make all the difference. Instead of jumping to conclusions or sticking rigidly to one solution, try brainstorming a variety of ideas with the other party. Collaborative brainstorming opens up possibilities and encourages creativity, giving each side a chance to explore solutions that might not have come to mind otherwise. By generating ideas together without judgment, you can consider more options and find something that works well for everyone involved. During this collaborative process, it's important to create space where all ideas are welcomed without criticism. This means both sides should feel free to share their thoughts without fear of rejection or pushback. By letting ideas flow freely, you're more likely to stumble upon a solution that addresses the interests of both parties. Even if a suggestion doesn't immediately seem like a perfect answer, it might spark another idea that gets you closer to the ideal outcome. Collaborative brainstorming often brings new perspectives to the table, helping you find creative solutions that might have otherwise been overlooked. To keep the process fair and objective, focus on evaluating each idea on its own merit rather than associating it with the person who's suggesting it. By separating ideas from individuals, you avoid personal biases that might cloud judgment. This approach allows both parties to focus solely on what each idea can contribute to solving the problem. Looking at ideas objectively makes it easier to discuss their strengths and weaknesses constructively, which can lead to a more effective and satisfying solution. Number 4. Build relationships and address resistance creatively. Connection is key when it comes to making negotiations run smoothly. Building a relationship with the other party sets a positive tone and can make finding a solution much easier. Showing respect, understanding their perspective, and taking the time to connect helps establish trust, which can be a game changer in any negotiation. When both sides feel understood and valued, they're more likely to work together to reach a fair and mutually beneficial agreement. Building rapport doesn't just help with getting along, it can also make handling resistance less challenging. If the other party pushes back on an idea rather than seeing it as a setback, take a moment to ask why they feel that way. Understanding their deeper motivations or concerns can reveal what truly matters to them, allowing you to find ways to address their needs without compromising on your own goals. This approach transforms resistance from a roadblock into an opportunity for insight and clarity. If resistance continues, consider asking for their advice on how to improve the proposal. This can show that you're open to collaboration and genuinely interested in their perspective. Seeking their input not only helps you understand their needs better, but also shows respect for their viewpoint. Inviting them to contribute directly to the solution may even lead them to feel more invested in reaching an agreement, creating a stronger sense of teamwork. Lastly, encouraging them to offer honest feedback or even criticize your ideas can be surprisingly helpful. Rather than seeing criticism as negative, view it as a way to uncover any hidden concerns that might need addressing. This open approach can bring valuable insights to light, allowing you to strengthen your proposal and build a solution that both parties can feel good about. Number 5. Prepare your BATNA, or best alternative to a negotiated agreement. BATNA, or best alternative to a negotiated agreement, is an essential part of any successful negotiation strategy. Think of your BATNA as your backup plan if the negotiation doesn't go as expected. By having a clear alternative in mind, you can approach the negotiation with more confidence and control. Knowing that you have a solid option to fall back on gives you the leverage to avoid settling for an unsatisfactory outcome. Developing a strong BATNA involves assessing what you would do if an agreement can't be reached. This could mean finding another supplier, considering different job offers, or even postponing a decision until a better opportunity arises. When you're aware of your best alternative, you don't feel pressured to agree to unfavorable terms. Instead, you can negotiate knowing that you're covered if things don't go your way, allowing you to focus on achieving the best result possible. Your BATNA also keeps you flexible and willing to walk away from unproductive negotiations. It's not just a last resort, it's a tool that allows you to hold your ground and avoid unnecessary compromises. If a negotiation becomes unworkable or one-sided, having your BATNA means you can leave without feeling like you've lost out. This flexibility shows the other party that you're serious about reaching a fair agreement and that you won't settle for anything less than a reasonable outcome. Number 6. Stay solution-oriented and avoid personal attacks. Separate people from problems. This approach is essential to keeping negotiations constructive and focused. When emotions run high, it's easy to slip into personal arguments or criticisms, but that can derail the entire process. By visualizing a vertical line that separates the person from the problem, you can keep your attention on solving the issue itself without getting caught up in personal disputes. This mindset shift allows for a more effective and respectful negotiation, keeping everyone engaged in finding a solution. Focusing on the problem instead of the individual also helps avoid unnecessary tension. It's natural to feel defensive or frustrated in challenging situations, but if you can remember that the goal is to address the issue, not to win against the other person, it's much easier to stay calm and productive. This approach encourages both parties to collaborate and see the negotiation as a shared effort to tackle the problem, not a battle against each other. At times, you may encounter manipulative or aggressive tactics, which can be tempting to respond to emotionally. However, by calmly recognizing these tactics and not reacting with equal aggression, you can keep the conversation grounded. Acknowledging the tactic without letting it sidetrack the negotiation can be very effective. Then, gently refocus on the main issue and your goals, ensuring that you don't get pulled into personal conflicts or distractions that don't serve the negotiation. To end, remember that the true goal in negotiation is collaboration, not victory. Instead of focusing on winning, aim for a solution that satisfies both parties' interests. This approach often builds stronger relationships and leads to repeated positive outcomes in future negotiations. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more insights from Luxo-Life. See you in the next video, Luxo lovers!